Hey guys, what's up? I have been so excited to shoot this video for a couple of weeks now. Something crazy happened to me based off of the cruise I took on the Freedom of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's recently amped ship back in August. I took that cruise for two reasons. First reason was I wanted to do my very first solo cruise. And if you want to know more about how that went, I will link the video at the end of this video. But the other reason I wanted to go on that cruise was because I heard a lot of really cool things about Club Royale, which is Royal Caribbean's casino loyalty program. And I wanted to check it out, and I could not believe the results I had. And I'll tell you all about it right now. All right, here we go. The first thing I want to do is kind of explain a little bit about Casino Royale and Club Royale, which is the loyalty program, and why I was so excited to give it a shot. So, as you know, when you go to Vegas, every big chain like MGM and Caesars has their own loyalty program. They're trying to get you to stay at their casino and gamble more there. So basically, you sign up, you get a card. You stick that card in the slot machine, you give it to your dealer, and as you play, you earn points. The more points you earn, you get stuff like free drinks, free food, free stays at their hotel properties, and all sorts of goodies. So, Club Royale is basically the same thing, but it's for Royal Caribbean. So, anytime you go on a Royal Caribbean ship and you go to Casino Royale, which is their brand for their casinos, you don't even need to sign up, which is a good part. All you do is you use your C-Pass card, which is the card that you use to get into your room. It's kind of your credit card on the ship. Anytime you buy something, you use it as in lieu of using cash or an actual credit card, and it's linked to your account. So basically, all you do is you take your C-Pass card, you throw it in the machine, you give it to your blackjack dealer, your roulette dealer, and then the more that you gamble, the more points you earn. And then you can hit different tiers, and with different tiers it unlocks more rewards. Now, from what I understood, you wanted to get to the first tier. I'm not going to worry about those other tiers above that, because those are for like serious gamblers. We're talking like tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars gambled, and I, for one, will never gamble that much. I'm kind of like a recreational for fun gambler. So the one I'm going to focus on is the first tier. That tier is Prime. You start at Choice. Once you hit 2,500 points, you hit Prime. When you get to Prime, you get one free cruise, which is obviously pretty cool, right? Additionally, it's 2,500 points to get to Prime, and if you manage to hit that 2,500 points in one single sailing, you get an additional cruise. So if you did that in one cruise, you would get two free cruises, which is pretty cool. And that's what I was going to try to do. What you need to know about it, though, is that points are not super easy to accumulate, which makes sense, right? So for every point, you need to cycle $5 through a slot machine, or it really varies with table games. It can be like $10 bet. It really depends on what you're playing, and some table games don't apply. So that's a lot of money. Now I have like neighbors making noise. They never make noise except for right now. So if you start doing the math, it seems like pretty scary, right? Like, in order to hit that 2,500 point level, you have to put $12,500 into a machine. And so automatically people are going, well, that's not a deal. $12,500 for two cruises, like that sucks. And I would agree, except for the one thing you need to consider is the payback that the machine is set to. So in Vegas, for instance, most machines are like low 90s. That's how loose the machine is. I'm sure you've heard that term before. So what that means is, for every $100 you put into a machine, you would expect to get like $90 to $92 or $93 back. on average. In the casinos on a cruise ship, it's a little bit lower because you can think about it, there's only one casino to go to on a ship, right? You can't leave and go play on another casino. You're kind of stuck. So because they have a captive audience, they can have the machines a little bit tighter. So the machines on a cruise ship will probably be a little bit lower on payback, like I would say high 80s. So using those odds of return, you can expect to put about $3,200 into a machine on average to hit that 2,500 points. Of course, that doesn't factor in, kind of luck, hitting any jackpots, anything like that. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go with a plan, and I'm just gonna stick to the plan and see how I do. So I went with a plan on this 4-day cruise that I would put $500 aside for gambling, and if I gambled through that money, it was over. I wasn't going to gamble anymore. It's very important to set limits for yourself and stick to them. That's the number one rule. You also have to make sure that you're having fun. It's got to be entertainment. So if you lose that money, you feel like you had fun, and I really enjoy slots. So that's the way I was approaching it. So I ended up missing the goal of 2,500 points on this cruise, and it wasn't because I ran out of money. I was actually doing fairly well. I was just above being even when the cruise was over, which was pretty cool. It was actually because I ran out of time. Like I said, I like to gamble. I like to play the slots. I think it's fun. I played some table games as well. But there was so many other things to do on the cruise, and I wasn't going to be in the casino for hours. And I'm also very risk averse. Like, I'm not betting max. I'm a minimum bet kind of guy. So most of my bets were probably, anywhere from 50 to 90 cents a spin. So I just ran out of time. I ended up actually getting about 680 points at the end of the cruise. So that was well and fine. I had a good time. Like I said, I didn't lose any money. And I thought, if I go on another cruise, I'll see if I can work my way up to that prime level. All right, this is where it gets crazy. So I had heard that even if you don't win your cruise, you will be given offers from time to time from Club Royale. They'll just send you an email saying, they'll give you like money off of a cruise. They might give you a free cruise. It's just very random. So I did receive an email a couple of weeks after the cruise was over from Club Royale, and I opened it up, and it was for $100 off a cruise. And I thought, you know what, that makes sense. I only got about a quarter of the way to my 2,500 points. This seems like an appropriate kind of tease to get me back on a ship. A few days later, I get another email from Club Royale. We want to invite you on a complimentary cruise. I was like, what? How? I only made 680 some odd points. So I look at it, and they gave me a choice of about a dozen different cruises within the next few months. And they ranged anywhere from like a 3-day weekender to an 8-day cruise, which I thought was insane. So a couple days after that, I received another email, and it was for another group of cruises. And then I received another email for another group of cruises. Now at the time I thought, okay, they're just, increasing the variety of cruises that I can choose from to try to get me on the ship. So I mulled it over for a couple of weeks, and I finally decided to be greedy and picked the longest cruise, which is the 8-day aboard the Allure of the Seas, Eastern Caribbean in December. I also picked that cruise because me and my friend Corey were on the Allure, and I really enjoyed the Allure as a ship, and I wanted to get back on it. So I went ahead, I booked the cruise, and when I booked it, I saw that there was a list of things that I could redeem. There was 4 different things. One of them was the $100 credit, and then 3 of them were the groups of cruises that I was offered. So I booked everything up. I was super happy, and then I went back on there just to check, and I saw that the 3 that I hadn't redeemed were still there. So I was like, this is curious. So I clicked redeem on the next one, and I put in the itinerary and ship that I was interested in. I think it was the Brilliance of the Seas out of Tampa, 4-night, which was a weekender cruise. And I booked it, and it went through. So I was like, is it possible that they gave me 3 free cruises? It can't be. So after that cleared and I paid my fees to book the cruise, the one remained, the 2 remained, the $100 and the other set of cruises. So what the heck? So I booked Freedom of the Seas. That one went through as well. So it turned out that from an investment, well, actually negative investment, because I made a few dollars from gambling on Freedom of the Seas, from earning 680 points, I got 3 free cruises. I'm now cruising in December, February, and March, all from that one experience on Freedom of the Seas. It's mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that they gave me that much. Now, part of it could be due to the pandemic, because Royal Caribbean has been sailing at a reduced rate at about 50% capacity, and I know they're ramping up, so there's a lot of additional staterooms available, so they may just be trying to backfill these cruises, and why not get people who gamble on the cruises, right? It's a good chance for them to earn more revenue. All right, so just as an update, I just received another offer, unbelievably another offer for a free cruise. So I went ahead and I booked the Freedom of the Seas, and now I have 4 free cruises from that original time spent on Freedom of the Seas, earning 680 points. I haven't even reached Prime yet. Prime will unlock that additional free cruise, and you also get free drinks when you're in the casino. So that is huge. With these other 4 free cruises that I go on, I'm for sure going to reach that Prime level.